Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are tuning in from. Hope you all are having a very beautiful morning or afternoon or evening. Thank you for joining me for the next episode of A Voice from the Ever Change. Now, in this episode, I will be following the traditional format, at least the tradition that I've created here in these 30 some odd episodes. I'm going to guide a meditation, a mindfulness type meditation into the silence of the present moment. Then I'm going to, we'll go through the breath first, bringing mindfulness to the breath, bringing mindfulness to certain aspects of the body, and then coming out to the sounds, noticing any sounds which might be available, and then finally bringing our awareness to the silent space within the present moment. Now, some people have made the comment that it's quite challenging for them to notice the silence of the present moment. But if you notice any sounds that are in your environment, you'll notice that before the sound was there was a silence, right? Even if you're in Times Square in New York during rush hour, before all the cars showed up, before all the traffic, before all the people, there was silence there. And so where does the silence go when the sounds appear? Well, the silence, the stillness doesn't go. It's always there, but it's just temporarily covered up by the sounds of the present moment. And so when one allows the mind to rest, the thoughts to rest, it allows us to become still, like that silence that's underneath the sounds. And so in that stillness, we connect with the silence of the present moment, the stillness of the present moment, like that. So again, that still quality, that silent quality, it's with us all of the time. In every experience, there's always a backdrop of silence. But it does get covered up, and our mind is so hypnotized by the sounds that we lose the quality of stillness. We lose the silence of the present moment. Very similar in the visual field. If you look around, you'll notice the objects. There's a book, there's some coins, there's some incense burning, there's my phone, there's my computer, there's my singing bell, and so forth. But in between all of that, there's all of this empty space. But we often forget about the empty space. We often ignore the empty space because our mind is so drawn to the objects in the room. But it's actually the emptiness which allows the objects to be there. It's the emptiness of the room which allows the room to be the room. It's what gives the room value. A cup only has value because it has an emptiness quality to hold the water. And so as it is with the sense of hearing, there's always this backdrop of stillness, of silence. That's what allows the sounds to be heard. And it's actually the same in our mind. There are these thoughts, and then underneath the thoughts, or in between the thoughts, there's this quality of stillness. There's a silent space within the thinking mind. Now, generally, most people are too hypnotized by their thoughts, too entertained by their thoughts to notice the stillness in the mind. But it's there. And so when I offer meditations, I recommend that whenever we notice we're in our thinking mind or distracted by our thinking mind, we label those thoughts with the word thinking. And the more we do that type of practice, the more we bring awareness to the distractions of the thinking mind, we start to tease apart those thoughts. And the silence, which again is always in the mind, there's always this stillness in the mind that starts to emerge out from in between the thinking, in between the thoughts. So, today I'm going to ring the bell. I'll guide us, breath, body, sounds, and silence. Then I'll offer a poem. This poem is on the topic of community, but I've used the Pali word or the Sanskrit word sangha, which is from the Buddhist tradition, but sangha translates to community. So just in case that word comes up and you might start to wonder what that word is, it's really referring to community. After the poem, I'll read a commentary. Also, these are both from my book, A Voice from the Ever Change. Then after the poem and the commentary, I'll probably just start talking. I try to relate the poem and the commentary to our present moment challenges of the day and how this might pertain to some common experiences that we might be having. Now, all of that part is improvised. I'm not reading there or anything, and so it might be just 2 or 3 minutes long. It might be 10 minutes long, or who knows. I just kind of go at that point until I'm done. I might not say anything at all, so we'll see. In any case, I hope you find this episode of A Voice from the Ever Change of benefit, somehow useful, or if not either of those, at least somewhat entertaining. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy. So allowing the body to rest. Allowing the muscles to relax and grow soft. Letting any tension or stress that's held in the body go. Allowing the mind to rest. And allowing the heart to rest. Just coming into this present moment experience. And breathing in and breathing out, bringing awareness and attention to the breath as it enters the nose and leaves the nose. You might notice a dry or a cool sensation arising from the nostrils. Allowing awareness to expand to include the back of the throat. Perhaps noticing the temperature of the breath changing from cooler to warmer as you inhale and exhale. Allowing awareness to expand to include the rib cage, expanding and contracting with each breath. Noticing the abdomen rising as you breathe in and falling as you breathe out. And perhaps also noticing the back moving out on the in-breath and in on the out-breath. And you might also notice the shoulders rising and falling with each breath. Perhaps also noticing the body straightening up slightly on the in-breath and leaning forward slightly on the out-breath. And so we'll rest right there just for a few moments, maintaining awareness on the sensations of the breathing process. Sensations arising from the nose, the back of the throat, the chest and shoulders and back and abdomen, and any other sensations that you might notice arising as a result of the breathing process. And just rest. And if at any time during this meditation you become distracted by your thoughts, simply labeling those thoughts with the word thinking will allow the thoughts to go, and you can gently return back to the present moment. And now, while resting with the breath, from the nose to the abdomen to the nose, allowing awareness to expand again to include sensations of clothing against the shoulders, noticing the arms resting against the body, the hands resting against the body or touching each other. You might notice sensations of clothing against the back, the weight of the body against the cushion, chair, mat, or floor. There might be sensations of clothing against the legs and the feet against the mat or the floor. You might also notice arising from the back of the neck and the sides of the neck. Sensations arising from the back of the head and the ears. Allowing awareness to expand into the face, noticing any sensations arising from the cheeks of the face, including the lips, the nose, the eyes, and the forehead. Noticing any sensations arising from the top of the head, the very crown of the head. And so we'll rest right there just for a few moments, maintaining even awareness on the sensations of the breath, from the nose to the abdomen to the nose, and sensations arising throughout the body, from the top of the head to the bottoms of the feet. And just rest, breathing in and breathing out. And if at any time during the meditation you become distracted by your thoughts, simply labeling those thoughts with the word thinking will help the thoughts to go, and you can gently return back to the present moment. And now, while resting in this present experience, sensations of the breath and body, allowing awareness to expand again, to include any sounds which might be available during this present moment experience. Depending on where you are, you might hear the sound of a bird song, perhaps the sound of geckos or crickets. There might be the sound of a car or two passing, perhaps a conversation happening in the distance. There might be a neighbor's television or music playing. Not focusing on any one sound in particular, but noticing the entire field of sounds. Hearing all of the sounds all at the same time. And in addition to any sounds, paying close attention to the quality of still silence within the present moment. And when we listen to the stillness in this way, we might notice how this silent space seems to surround each sound. And so we'll rest right there, maintaining open, spacious awareness on the silence and sounds, body and breath, and just rest, breathing in and breathing out. The poem. Within the diamond net of sangha, each stone carries an offering, celebrating another's success, holding compassionate silence, non-judgment in a smile, opening to all facets of each diamond just as they are. In stillness, we can see how each stone reflects the light of the other, how each beautiful flaw radiates bright into the heart. The commentary. To see and be seen with the eyes of non-judgment might indeed be the most powerful gift which can be given. When we are seen and accepted for exactly who and what we are, it is easier for us to see and accept ourselves with that same equanimity. When we see, know, and accept others with a heart of non-judgment, we are embracing that person with the arms of the divine. When we are in the company of people who gift us with their equanimity, we may feel that we can truly be ourselves. We may feel more at home and at ease in the company of such people. Since we can know or imagine how good it feels to be held in the light of equanimity, we may naturally want to extend that light to others. When we judge someone's behavior, it is most often because we are educated differently than that person, or we are from a different culture or have a different background. We can easily remind ourselves that if we were born to the same parents as this person, if we had been raised in the same culture and environment as this person, if we had the same education as this person, we would make the same choices that this individual is now making. That does not mean we condone someone's behavior if they are hurting us or another. But it will allow us to see the humanity of this individual above their behavior and choices. We can then relate to this person on a human level. Compassion is born from such an aware type of relating. If you find yourself in a community which regularly comes together to share silence, take a few minutes to observe. Notice how there is a sense of mystery, joy, exploration, and wonder in the atmosphere. Even in the most austere monastic environments, when a community comes together and sits together, the joyous energy seems to flow from one heart to the next. When the meditation bell rings to end the session, people will get up and begin interacting with each other. Here, one can really notice the light of awareness reflecting off of each smile, radiating out in embrace through the eyes, shining out into the heart of each person. This heart light refracts through the perfect flaws of each diamond being held within the net of sangha, creating a rainbow of dazzling beauty and shimmering and flowing from heart to body to mind of each being. By holding each heart, whether it is filled with joy or sadness, laughter or sorrow, each being is thoroughly bathed in the elixir of the all-seeing, radiant light of sangha. So thank you for meditating with me. I hope you enjoyed the guided meditation there, the poem and the commentary. Now, when I wrote this poem, I was here at this community called New Life, where I am right now, although now the community is closed due to the virus. But when I wrote this poem last May or June, I suppose it was, the community was full and vibrant with all sorts of diamonds creating the net of sangha. And we all come together each morning and do a quick meditation. And sometimes we do a long meditation. On Wednesday mornings we do half an hour to 45 minutes of meditating all together as a community. And this was where I noticed that the energy, the attention, the light, the beauty that's cultivated in the silence of meditation, as people rise from the meditation and start interacting with each other, even in silence, there's this light, there's this beauty, there's this embrace, this acceptance and equanimity shines out. It's really quite extraordinary to see this. And the community really comes together in that moment. And it lasts throughout the days and the weeks and the months. And it struck me that this could happen anywhere. Not that New Life isn't very special. It is a very, very special place. But I mean, that type of equanimity can be brought with us. On the street, in the shopping mall, the food courts, in the market. Why not? Why is our community limited to the people we share space with? Why is our compassion limited to those who we love? Why is our equanimity, why is our joy, loving kindness, and compassion limited to our tribe? What if we considered a global tribe? Now that might seem quite large at first. So maybe we can start with smaller chunks, like a neighborhood tribe. And so as they hopefully lower the restrictions and we start to be able to leave our abode, we're walking through the neighborhood. When we see a person that we don't know, may you be happy. May you live your life in peace, free from struggle. May you accept things just as they arise. So forth. Extending this compassion, this loving kindness, this equanimity to people we don't know, just because they're human beings, just because their birthright dictates that they should be able to live a life in such a way, free from suffering, bathed in happiness. Another way of practicing that is to make the dedication, the commitment to yourself that for the next 10 minutes I will judge nothing that arises. And then go to the shopping mall. And stand in the shop, and you'll catch your mind falling into judgments, into preferences and prejudices. That's fine, that's the human condition. We're all conditioned to do that. That's why it's a practice. So you catch those judgments you catch those judgments, you catch those preferences and prejudices, say, oh, that's just my ego, that's just my mind, that's just thinking. Let that go. For the next 10 minutes, I will judge nobody, I will judge nothing that arises. So we start with a neighborhood tribe, then maybe we can expand out to our area that we live in. If you're in the United States, expanding out to your state. If you're in other places that have provinces, expanding out. Province tribe. There'll be people, politicians, who do things you don't like. That's fine. We don't have to condone bad behavior. See them as they are. That is how they are. We would make the same choices, the same decisions if we were born to their parents, if we had the same education they had, if we were born into the same culture they were in. We would behave in the same way. Expanding out to include the whole country. A national tribe. Allowing compassion for all of the beings in the country. And eventually expanding out to include the whole world. So in this time, this COVID-19, this time of lockdown, of restrictions, of social distancing, we might feel that we don't have any community. How very limited indeed. All of those barriers we've created that. Now there is physical barriers, yes. Hopefully you're keeping your 2 to 3 meters social distancing, keeping everyone healthy, flattening the curve. That is greatly appreciated. But what unites the community is not physical distance. It's not the proximity of human bodies. What unites people together is loving kindness, is compassion, is joy, non-judgment, equanimity, forgiveness. And so when we start to practice these practices, when we start to bring that non-judging heart, that heart of joy and loving kindness to the world, the whole world is your community. The whole world is your sangha. So I think that's all I want to say about that. Thank you for joining me. Again, I hope I didn't get too preachy there. Sometimes I do. And I hope you all found that enlightening somewhat, maybe beneficial perhaps, at least mildly entertaining. And my purpose for doing this whole series is really just to give a little bit of light, a little bit of love, a little bit of positivity to the world experience right now. So also would like to extend a few words of gratitude for those who are doing the same. There are many, many, many offerings happening on this platform nowadays. Facebook has never been so good. It's great. Lots of musicians putting their music out for free over this platform. Lots of people doing Reiki and healing, and lots of meditation practices, not only this, but many, many others. Yoga, I scan through Facebook for 2 minutes and I see 20 yoga programs, which is wonderful. All kinds of offerings, people doing silly dances, lots of cat videos. It all makes a difference. It all adds to the positivity of the experience of the world today, and we need that. So thank you for doing that. Also, as much as we need the offerings, we need the audience. So if you're at home on lockdown and you're ordering takeout, thank you for tuning in to something like this. It really, we need an audience. If we're going to continue making these offerings, we need people to offer them too. So that's the yin and yang of the whole system there. Okay, that's really it now. I am done. I'll be back tomorrow with more of the same. Practice your social distancing, stay healthy, stay clean. We'll get through this together. Much love, much light.